Hey guys, this is Mark. Got a question from a young man who states, I have struggled my entire life to fit in. I've always felt like I was on the wrong planet. I have been in and out of relationships, in and out of jobs, and I think I could be on the autism spectrum. I'm wanting to get an assessment, but I am concerned that I will be stigmatized and discriminated against if I have the label. What do you think? I would strongly encourage you to forget about the being concerned with being stigmatized, because you, based on what you've just said, you have no doubt already been stigmatized. In other words, if you've had a hard time relating to peers, been in and out of relationships, holding jobs and so on, then it's highly likely that you've already been labeled by people that you have run into over the years as being shy, backwards, strange, odd, and so on. So in other words, other people that know you or know something about you already know that you're kind of different in some sense. People are very smart, and oftentimes if they think poorly of you, they keep it to themselves. So just know that, it doesn't matter at this point. You've already been stigmatized and probably already been discriminated against. So getting a formal diagnosis isn't going to change much at this point, especially if things go as they're supposed to once you get a diagnosis and then maybe get on some type of a treatment plan. In other words, the only people to know of the diagnosis, or the only people that need to know, would be really close friends and family members, possibly your employer. Nobody else needs to know. So I would definitely say get a formal assessment. It's better to know than not to know. If you have ASD level 1, so what? Welcome to the autistic world. You're just in the same boat with about 3 or 4 or 5 million other people. So it's better to know than not to know. If you don't know that you have it, it's going to affect you anyway. If you do know, you can minimize the negative impact and leverage the positive, and there's a ton of positives that come with ASD level 1. You have way more positive traits than negative that come with the package. In other words, you will have some positive traits that a neurotypical male your age will not have. So without the knowledge that you have ASD level 1 or Asperger's syndrome, the tendency will be to fill in that void with other more damaging descriptions of yourself. What have you said about yourself in the past, given your history of not being able to fit in like you want? Have you said, I'm a failure, I'm weird, I'm a disappointment, nobody wants to be my friend, and so on? So that's not what's going on. So if you find out you have ASD level 1, now you go, okay, well, it wasn't me as a person. I'm not defective or flawed. I just happen to have this disorder that hundreds and hundreds and thousands of other people have. So it's never too late to increase self-awareness in order to capitalize on strengths and work around areas of challenges. Realizing you have a, quote, disorder doesn't have to deflate your self-esteem. Knowing about ASD level 1 and 2 and 3 gives you an explanation, not an excuse, but certainly an explanation why your life has taken these twists and turns that you've described. It's just important information to have. So don't be shy. If you thought you had diabetes, wouldn't you want to know? Yeah, of course you would. So this honestly is not much different. Both conditions, even though one is physical and the other one is developmental, are very treatable. But you can't treat it if you don't know you have it. You can't work on the problem if you don't know what the problem is. And if you're going around the rest of your life thinking the problem is that you're defective or flawed, or that something wrong with you or something bad about you, we don't want that. So go get that assessment. Okay? Go get the assessment. And in hindsight, I'm sure you'll be glad you did. So I hope that gives you a little bit of consolation regarding the being stigmatized business. Okay.